Tyler from Aspire Sports. Today's video is going to be about FanDuel, who just released their player salaries for week one. So we got some juicy DFS players to look at here. Very early. Yes, week one is quite a ways away, but it's never hurt to start preparing, and it never hurts to start preparing for week one. So let's go ahead and look at some of the salaries for some of these players. Once again, I didn't take like an extensive look. This is kind of me just taking my first glance, looking at some guys that I like. We're just going to work our way down here. So we got quarterback position here. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So we got quarterback. We have obviously Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray. They're the two highest because they're obviously have the best matchups and games that should be pretty high scoring. For me, I'd go Kyler Murray just a little bit more. He's $400 less, and I think that this game right here, Arizona, Tennessee, might be the highest scoring game of the slate. We'll see, though, as we get closer. But then if you want, you can go to Ryan Tannehill. He's somebody else that obviously cheaper. You have 7,700, who this is, I think, like I said, the highest scoring game of the slate. So if you want, Ryan Tannehill is definitely in play and easily to stack him as well. Jalen Hurts is another quarterback that I want to talk about, though, because you have Jalen Hurts with Philadelphia, Atlanta, and I know Atlanta was god-awful against the pass last year. They did get better as the season progressed, but with Jalen Hurts, you just have that rushing potential that is so valuable for 7,600. And then as long as Devontae Smith is okay, you can stack him as well. One other guy I want to mention, and this is going to be absolute chalk if he ends up being the starting quarterback, is going to be Trey Lance way down here. I don't envision him being the starting quarterback, but you never know. I think that they're going to roll with Jimmy G. But if Trey Lance is the starting quarterback, absolute smash play there. But it's going to be chalk, especially in like your GPP tournament plays. So I would stay away from that. But if you're in your like cash games, yeah, Trey Lance, absolute smash. Everybody probably have Trey Lance. So let's go to the running back position here, where you have Christian McCaffrey at the top, obviously Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara. For me, Alvin Kamara is my favorite here because you have a Green Bay team that struggled against the running back position, especially receiving backs last year, where Alvin Kamara obviously may be the best receiving back in the NFL, right there with Christian McCaffrey. So Alvin Kamara is a guy who the offense is just going to flow through him. He's going to be heavily involved. And for 8,600, yes, please. I like that price a lot. Nick Chubb, I feel like is a really good price as well. But the absolute chalk, okay, another player that is just going to be really, really high owned, at least he should be, is Najee Harris, 6,500. A guy who's not going to come off the field, is going to play majority of the snaps against a Buffalo team that it's better to beat them on the ground than it is through the air. So a team that in Pittsburgh that wants to run the ball a little bit more, Najee Harris should see plenty of volume in this game. So at 6,500, he's only gonna go up from here in price. It's gonna be his lowest. And then I'm gonna throw in a couple guys. Once again, didn't look at this a whole lot, so maybe there's other guys later down on this list. But Raheem Mostert right now, I like Trey Sermon, but who's at 5,000 if you want to pay down. But I just feel like Trey Sermon's more of a guy who might win later in the season, where in the beginning of the season it's going to be more Raheem Mostert than Trey Sermon. I need to see what happens more in camp exactly before fully committing to this, but this is a Detroit team that was awful against the run last year and a San Francisco team that's very good at running the football, right? So depending on what happens in camp, maybe Trey Sermon, if he's getting a decent amount of work in camp and it's going to kind of be like a 50-50 split, or we'll have to see how it works out. But one of these guys at this price range against Detroit, I do like that. But then once again, I mean, I'd rather just pay up for Najee Harris. But if you already have Najee Harris, maybe you're going more expensive at the wide receiver position. And then say like a guy like Travis Kelce. So you need like more room to kind of pay for guys that are in this range that are decent plays. Raheem Mostert there. Chase Edmonds is another one. Like I said, I want all the exposure currently to that game, Arizona-Tennessee game, because it's, I feel like, the highest scoring game of the slate. And then Travis Etienne and James Robinson. I want to say Travis Etienne because he has a receiving upside here, but this is a game that I feel like Jacksonville is going to win pretty easily against Detroit or against Houston if they don't have Deshaun Watson. If he's not playing week one, I think I'd rather go personally James Robinson over ETN because I feel like he's going to be, I envision him more involved in this offense just due to him running the rock and also being involved around the goal line. But if we have Deshaun Watson playing week 1, Travis Etienne makes more sense, and I would definitely want to go Travis Etienne over James Robinson. Let's go to the wide receiver position and look here. Once again, first glance, maybe there's some other running backs I kind of missed on, other players I missed on, but let's go ahead and take a look here. Obviously, you have Tyreek Hill, but I will say about this Cleveland secondary with Patrick Mahomes too is that you have a Cleveland secondary that should be improved this upcoming season. We'll see if it actually translates, but they should be much improved. So that's why I'm also going in this Arizona game where I don't think that Tennessee's secondary is as good as Cleveland's could possibly be. We'll have to see if it translates. But DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray, like my favorite stack, obviously. It's probably going to be a lot of people's favorite stack. So DeAndre Hopkins. I do like Calvin Ridley here as well at 6,100. Just somebody who should be a target hog. And at 8,100, I feel like that's a decent price. And then Stephon Diggs, who you have Pittsburgh, but you don't have Steven Nelson anymore. And he absolutely ate up Pittsburgh last year, okay? He ate up Pittsburgh. So the fact that you can get him this cheap at 7,900, I don't envision him being as cheap as the season progresses here. I like that as well a lot. And then if you're kind of going down the list, there's other guys that I like in this range. But I'm going to go down further. Brandon Ayuk there, I do like that. But let's go down further here to, I want to make sure I don't pass him. Let's see, Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase right there, 5,500. Yeah, I like that. As long as Joe Burrow checks out and he's okay, who I said previously in season long, I am a little bit worried because you have Joe Burrow not far removed, and I get it. He's a quarterback. It's not the same as Saquon, a completely different story regardless. As long as he's okay and is looking better in camp, then I like Jamar Chase. And another guy I like that's a little bit further is Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith, as long as he's okay to start the season, I like Devontae Smith as well. 5,300 against a Philly team or a Atlanta team, like I said last year, struggled against the pass. But this is somebody who I just think is very, very good. Very good. Yes, you can say whatever you want about his legs, but he's still very good. So once again, you can look down here, find some guys. As camp progresses, there's going to be more guys that are going to kind of open up down here. So we'll have to check back in the next couple of weeks to see how that's looking. And then for the tight end position, if you want to go Travis Kelce, absolute stud. We got the top tight ends here who they all have pretty good matchups here, except TJ Hawkinson playing in San Francisco. Don't want any part of that. One guy that I will say that I do like here, that is cheap if you want to go the cheap route. Where's he at? Andrew Troutman is 4,600, I believe. I probably just passed him. I believe he's 4,600. Yes, Adam Troutman. Sorry, Adam Troutman, 4,600. Yes, it is a tougher matchup, but for 4,600 for a guy who's going to be the starting tight end in this offense, a game that if Jameis is the quarterback, I kind of envision a shootout here. I really do. So I feel like this game could be a bit of a shootout. So Adam Troutman, I like him here. If you're going to play down at the position, somebody that I'm interested in. So that does it for me here. Obviously, like I said, very, very early. Very early. We'll have to see how camp progresses, how injuries play out, how the quarterback battles play out, who wins the starting job. But very early players I like. So if you enjoyed this content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.